Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Kaylin's English podcast. This podcast is designed for English learners. I'm here to help you practice your listening skills. I'm Kaylin, a professional English teacher on italki. What is up, everyone? How's the weather where you are? Not much is up here as the weather is currently gloomy. Today is part 2 of my London episode. In part 1, I went through some great markets to go to when in London, as well as a great place to see the city, and a fantastic place to go shopping. Today, let us go over some more fun things to do in London. I have told you about the London Eye, but there's another great place to see the city, and that is the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. Just a side note, Greenwich is spelled Greenwich, and many foreigners, including Americans, pronounce it as Greenwich, but it is actually pronounced as Greenwich. Anyways, the Royal Observatory has a museum, but I have yet to go there, as I enjoy walking up to the actual observatory, which is up a big hill. When you reach the top, you get a fantastic view of London. It is amazing as you see the big park with trees in front of you, but also the city skyline. It is cool to see the new and old mixed together within the city skyline. It is a truly magical view. This is also home to the Greenwich Mean Time. I have been to this place 3 times, and every time it is absolutely stunning sight to see. What else can you do in London? Many people enjoy shopping, and London has many places to do such. Regent Street, Oxford Street, and Bond Street are the most famous places to go shopping. You can pretty much find anything in this area. For example, Levi's, Victoria's Secret and Pink, H&M, Ralph Lauren, Uniqlo, and Scribbler. These streets are a shopper's paradise. Many people travel to London just to go shopping. One of my favorite places to go there is Japan Center. This store has tons of Japanese treats and cooking ingredients. It also has various souvenirs that change often, such as Hello Kitty plush, Gudetama items, which is a little guy that's an egg, basically. He has legs, eyes, mouth. He's really cute. And they also have other scenario things. This store also has a food court where you can get a nice lunch of sushi or noodle dishes. Besides shopping, London is home to many restaurants serving amazing food from all over the world. I have told you about one of my favorite restaurants before. It's called Passyunk Avenue. It is a Philadelphian-themed restaurant, which makes it American food. They also have other American restaurants, such as the Big Easy, which serves barbecue and seafood. This is very close to traditional American barbecue, but it has a twist with regards to being more towards the British palate than the American palate. Tourists love Big Easy. It is strange to think that I'm no longer a tourist. I've been living here for so long. But anyways, the Big Easy has many different locations throughout London, so it's very easy to find one. I highly recommend going there when they have a promotional deal on. They do boozy brunch on weekends, also hit and run express lunch, and happy hour. They do amazing cocktails, and they're very cheap during happy hour. Besides American food, you can also find a variety of other dishes from around the world. One of my favorite restaurants is Lime Orange, which is a Korean-style restaurant. They serve various things like bibimbap, you can grill your own meat, and they have noodle dishes. I have been here before with my husband and my brother and his wife. It was a lot of fun. We grilled our own meat and we enjoyed a bit of bibimbap. It was absolutely delicious. This restaurant is quite small inside, so it is a great idea to get a reservation. Otherwise, you may never even get into the restaurant, or you have to wait a long time because it is very, very small and busy. If you enjoy fine dining, a great restaurant is Hawksmoor. It is a steak restaurant that is absolutely amazing. They also have some seafood as well. A great tip is to get a reservation and try to get it not too late in the day, because you might miss out on different cuts of beef. They always have special cuts of beef every day, and if you're there really, really late, then it might be out already. My husband and I learned that the hard way. You might be thinking to yourself, why hasn't she mentioned British food? She is in England. Surely she's going to be eating some British food. To be honest, a lot of the British food that I have had here hasn't been in London. The British food that I eat has been other places across England. So I'll mention those in a different episode when I'm not covering London. I don't think I can stress enough how great the food is in London, how much choice you have. Explore a bit of everything. You can go for Chinese, Japanese, you can go for American, of course. You can do British if you'd like. That's also an option. But explore something new. Maybe you haven't tried Korean or Thai before, or perhaps you haven't tried Greek food or Italian, which I mean, a lot of people have tried Italian before, it's everywhere. But you can find some really good, authentic Italian here in London. I have had Russian while in London. There's a restaurant called Zima, and the food there is absolutely amazing, and they have a really good vodka selection. If you like vodka, that is, and drink. That's enough food for one episode. Let's talk about something else you can do in London. One of the activities that I enjoyed in London was taking the water taxi on the River Thames. You get some really interesting views of the city, including underneath Tower Bridge. On the water taxi, I had noticed the London Bridge. So that's how I know where it is in London. I've never actually crossed it before that I can remember. But riding the water taxi, you can actually see London Bridge and you go underneath it. There are many great tours in London as well. Some you have to pay for in advance and some that are classified as free. They're not actually free because you should be leaving a generous tip for the person that gave you the tour. These free tours can cover anything from rock and roll music, the Beatles, a haunted tour, Harry Potter, history, street food market tours, and much, much more. Whatever you may be interested in, you can probably find a tour about it in London. One last thing to mention before I end this episode, because it is running quite long, is that it's great to take a walk or a bike along the River Thames. You can see a lot of amazing things, from street artists to different types of boats, and also historical places and amazing buildings. It is one of my favorite things to do there. It doesn't cost anything if you're not using a bike, and it gives you exercise. It's great. Oh, and one last thing that I almost forgot to mention. When in England, no matter what city, go to a pub. Find one that seems very, very local. One of my favorite ones in London is the Golden Eagle. It is a really, really nice place to be, and the folks there are really, really friendly. Pubs are a great place to experience more local things and potentially meet new people. It is a well-known fact that when drinking alcohol, people lose their inhibitions, and they're a lot more friendlier and chattier sometimes. That is enough about London for one episode. I could talk about it a bit more. I may cover it in some future episodes. However, in this series, I'll probably be talking about the northern part of England next. I have a lot of experience there, and I can't wait to share it with you. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like more content, then please subscribe to this podcast. You can also support me on Patreon. Find me by typing in Kaylin Teacher. On Patreon, you can gain early access to the podcast and transcriptions. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kaylin_teacher. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a great day. Until next time, bye!